ॐ ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कथा मह्यं ददति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलान् श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सह गणललित श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नाम्ने नमस्ते सारस्वतीदेवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे वञ्चकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्यनाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। पंचतत्व आत्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकम्। तप्तकाञ्चन गौरांगी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्ता वृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। आपदामपहर्तारं धातारं सर्वसम्पदां लोकाभिरामं श्रीरामं भूयो भूयो नमाम्यहम्। श्रीराम राम रघुनन्दन राम राम श्रीराम राम भरताग्रज राम राम श्रीराम राम डनकर्कश राम राम श्रीराम राम शरणं भव राम राम श्रीरामचन्द्र चरणौ मनसा स्मरामि श्रीरामचन्द्र चरणौ वचसा गृह्णामि श्रीरामचन्द्र चरणौ शिरसा नमामि श्रीरामचन्द्र चरणौ शरणं प्रपद्ये। हरे कृष्णा। So I welcome you all to our day one of Sri Rama Charitamrta series of 8 days, uh, um, which I would like to use for preparing myself for the Ram Navami 2025, which will be celebrated. And like every year, I take this opportunity to thank you all for joining because it is so nice to be with you all. Why? Because you have great taste for hearing Ramakatha. uh, and with that, it also gives me the chance to speak about the glories of the Lord. In the past, we had different themes, just like once we had the whole 9 days dedicated for Sundara Kanda, and then there was 9 days we spent the whole all the six kandas that we discussed. Yeah. And then there was Navavidha Bhakti, how to appreciate the great personalities of Ramayana. And then I was thinking, what can be a very nice topic so that we can deepen our appreciation for Ramakatha. Hmm? Of course, you all are already very much aware about Ram and his pastimes. And the beauty of Ramayana is said, um, Aruhya Kavita Shakam. Yeah, this particular Ramayana is so wonderful that the Katha is amazing, which means we will never get bored. The more and more we hear, the more and more we are getting attracted. And then, when I was thinking about the theme of this year, I was looking into few options. One that really stuck me, that I thought, okay, this is something very nice, so that we can be blessed by hearing, is the Sri Rama Charitamrita. This is inspiration from what Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami ji has mm, made Chaitanya Charitamrita available, and this is also inspiration from Satsvarupa Goswami Maharaj, who made Prabhupada Lilamrita. So this Sri Rama Charitamrita, I was thinking how to introduce, how to start, and when I looked into the introduction part of the Chaitanya Charitamrita, there the introduction in the Adi Lila, the first before the chapter one starts, is mm, a series of lectures. I think it was a five lectures that Srila Prabhupada gave on the subject of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, of Chaitanya Charitamrita, and then later it became the introduction of Chaitanya Charitamrita in English. In that, in the same lines, how Prabhupada has introduced this Chaitanya Charitamrita, I would like to also seek his blessings and start our Sri Rama Charitamrita. The word Rama means eternal bliss. It's not just eternal bliss, but it means the one who has eternal bliss. It is one who not just has eternal bliss, one who is the reservoir of eternal bliss. It is the personality who has eternal bliss, who is the reservoir of eternal bliss, who can give. Huh? He who is a giver of, yeah, one who is the owner, he can be the giver, and he is none other than Rama. Yeah? It is the word Rama means Ramante Yogina iti Rama, means that who the yogis, the transcendentalists are so much absorbed in experiencing eternal bliss, Ramante, and about whom is about Rama. So Rama means the reservoir of pleasure. In Padma Puran, there is Ramante Yogino Anante Satyanande Chidatmani iti Rama Padenaso Param Brahmabhi Diyate. So it is said that this Rama is so much, so much pleasing to everyone that um, just by hearing the name of Rama, mm, and the glories and deeds comes later, but just by knowing about Ram, one is completely satisfied. Param Brahmabhi Dhyate. Uh, and in Vishnu Sahasranam, there is this Ramo, Viramo, Virajo, Margo, Neyo, Nayo, Nayaha, Veera Shakti Matam Shrestha, Dharmo, Dharma, Vidauttamah. This in Vishnu Sahasranam, we also see the glories of Ram is that Ramo, who has Viramo. He is, first of all, he is eternal bliss. Rama means bliss. And Viramo, one who um, is the abode of perfect rest. We know Aram, and the best of that is Viramo. Ramo, Viramo, Virajo. He is eternal bliss, who is pure consciousness, is being meditated by revealed yogis, and not only that, he is the abode of perfect rest, the place where all the creatures rest. Is also he's the abode of that, and then not only that, who has uh, no interest or passion, virajo. We know Raja means passion. Virajo means one who doesn't has tinge or trace of passion. He's free from that. One who is free, no interest in passion for sense objects. And Margo Neo, one who is the path as well as the goal. It's very interesting. Just by taking shelter, or just by hearing the Ram Katha, or just by following in the footsteps of Rama, then what happens is one comes to the platform of what he's on the right path. And because he is on the right path, he attains the goal. But what is that goal? Is none other than to attain Ram. So Ram is not just the path, but he is also the goal. So Ramo, Viramo, Virajo, Margo, Neyo. Neyo means one who is a guide, who guides someone. hmm, And how? Yeah, we can, when we are going through his charita, when we go through his deeds, wonderful deeds, then we come across what it is that his neya is one who guides and ultimately takes the seeker to the reality, which means a guide is the one, just like a spiritual master. What is his um, role in the life of his disciple is that he shows the path. Yeah, that is that we see that margo, neo, yeah, means, and also we know this word niyanta, means one who
हम्म सगळं दिवसाआपण परत देऊया
okay, yeah, maybe you can go on mute. So who guides and ultimately takes seeker to reality. Hmm? Ramo, Viramo, Virajo, Margo, Neyo, Nayo, Nayaha. Yeah. Naya, Anayaha. Naya means who leads, and Anaya means one who has no leader, one who is completely independent. Huh? So we can see, and then Veera Shakti Matam. Shakti Matam is something like a very superlative. Veera means we know one who is valiant. Veera means one who doesn't turn his back, seeing the calamities or seeing the challenges. huh? But he is one who is valiant and Shakti Matam and is the mightiest among the mighty people. Shakti Matam Shrestho. Yeah. Shakti Matam Shrestho, and then Dharmo means one who is a follower of, one who is Dharma personification. Of course, unfortunately, today so many people, because poor fund of knowledge and because of reservoir of anarthas, one is not appreciating what Ram did, and they say that Ram is very partial, or Ram did that which is not right. So many things. It is a pity because it's not that. Ram is Shrestha Dharma and Dharma Viduttama. Uttama means Viduttama, the topmost in what? In highest among who knows Dharma, and he is the personification of Dharma, and then he established dharma. In that way, we can see in Vishnu Sahasranam this this um, verse is actually mentioning about the greatness of Lord Vishnu, who is none other than Rama. And then there is further in Brihad. This is what we see, right, in Brihad um, Vishnu Sahasranama, that is in the Uttarakanda of Padma Purana. So there we can also see the greatness of Lord Ramachandra. And then we know that in Rama Raksha Stotra, there is this Sri Rama Rama Rameti, Rame Rame Manorame, Sahasranama Tatulyam, Rama Nama Varanane. Varanane is, oh, beautiful faced. Uh, yeah. So Lord Shiva is telling to Durga Devi, Parvati is saying, oh, Suruchiramukhi, is saying, oh, nice lotus faced, beautiful faced Durga. What I be doing? Why? Because she asked, what are you meditating upon? She says, and Lord Shiva is saying that Sri Rama Rama Rameti Rame Rame Manorame. Sahasranama Tatulyam Ramanama Varane. The power of Ram is so that uh, it is equivalent to when just one utters three times Ram, it's equivalent to reading one whole Vishnu Sahasranam. Tatulyam. Tulyam means comparison. Tatulyam is equivalent to uh, Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranam Tatulyam Ramanama Varanane. So great is Lord's name. Huh? So in that way, we can see Rama means one who is a bestower of all auspiciousness. Why? Because the potency by just uttering three times of Rama is equivalent to singing whole Vishnu Sahasranama. Hmm. And then um, And then further, we see that in our theme for these 8 days, we are talking about what? Sri Rama uh, Charita Amrita. So, what is Charita? Charita means it means character. Charita means it means character, it means activities, it means divine deeds, it means pastimes. Yeah. So it means confidential affairs. So Sri Rama Charita is we are going to discuss about those wonderful deeds. Janma karma cha me divyam yevam yo veti tatvatah त्यक्त्वा देहम पुनर्जन्मम naiti mameti. So Arjuna, Krishna is saying Bhagavad Gita that one who understands the birth and the deeds of the Lord, hmm, they'll not take birth again. Naiti mameti. So Arjuna, he's affirming, confirmingly saying Krishna that one who understands, they don't come back to this material world. So this Charita is telling about the character. This is not about uh, justifying, or this is not about debating about the character of Lord Ram. There is no need. Why? I'll come to that later after understanding. Then what is Amrita? Amrita means we know that which is immortal. Mrita. Mrita means mortal. Amrita means immortal. And then in one sense, Amrita is also food of human beings. What does that mean? It's not that we are supposed to eat anything, everything, so that we just maintain the body. We need to eat the right food, human beings. But what is that right food is Rama Katha. Why? Because this Katha is actually the food that is feeding our soul. Yeah. Usually we are interested in things that maintains our body or maintains our mind. But food that is needed for the soul is actually the katha, this charita. And this charita of the great personality of like Lord Ramachandra is what is not just food for humans, but is also not, it's not just like a bitter, oh, like a medicine. Oh, medicine is good, but it's very bitter. No, this katha, sudha, sudha is very, very nectarian, sweet. Yeah, this nectarian sweet is what is giving what Amrita also means eternal. So Srila Prabhupada introduced Chaitanya Charitamrita by giving the explain the meaning of each word. What is Chaitanya means the living force. Charita means character. Amrita means immortality. And then he said it is the character of the living force of which is of immortality. What does that mean for us for next 8 days is that we are greatly fortunate to discuss about the deeds, the character of the reservoir of the pleasure potency, who is an ocean of sweet eternal immortality. Which means by us connecting to this, we are going to experience that immortality for this period where we are absorbed in his katha. Why? Because these are not ordinary, these are divine, these are transcendental pastimes of the Lord. And who am I to tell this? I am just yeah, most insignificant, but I am going to provide the praman. The praman is this Rama Katha is sung by Brahmaji. We'll go to that later. Not only Brahma, Narada Muni, not only Narada Muni, Valmiki, not only Valmiki, the glories of Lord Ram is sung by Lord Shiva. And then with this Rama Raksha Stotram, we hear from Buddha Kaushika Rishi the glories of Lord Ram. Then Sukadeva Goswami is telling to Parikshit Maharaj in the Canto 9, chapter 10, 11, about the pastimes of Lord Ram of Ayodhya. So that helps us to understand that this, and of course, there are other scriptures. Yeah, we have this Padma Puran, then there is this Moola Ramayana. It is said that Moola Ramayana, Madhvacharya lineage, they refer to, even now they read Mula Rama. Mula means root or the first. Mula Ramayana. It is said that this Mula Ramayana is even before Valmiki Ramayana. Before Valmiki wrote Ramayana, this was already there. And then there is this Rama Tapaniya Upanishad, it is there. And then there is Rama Rahasya Upanishad. Then there is Tarasara Upanishad. There are so many places where the glories of Lord Ram are sung by great, great personalities. They are mm, available in, there is this um, Tarasara Upanishad. There is Lord Ram is telling to Hanuman, or I think, yeah, telling to Hanuman, and in that he describes what is Omkara, hmm, and what are the elements of it, six elements. So there is so much that even Lord Himself has spoken, and everything is available. It is only that we need to tune to them, turn to them, and of course with very great care, because they also, when such a great book is available and which has great interest, uh, then there are also some who can interpret it, and in the process of interpretation may not bring the exact message. So one has to be very careful, and with that care, we would like to enter into Shravanam. It is said in Srimad Bhagavatam that Tasmad Ekena Manasa Bhagavan Satvatam Patihi Shrotavya Kirtitavyascha Dhyane Pujyascha Nityada. It is said, what is the benefit one gets when he hears Harikatha or Ram Katha here is, therefore, with one pointed attention, one should constantly hear about glory and remember and worship the Lord, who is the protector of the devotees. So, in fact, so this is very, very important that um, we would like to enter into this wonderful pastimes through the process of Shravanam and Kirtanam, yeah, which means whenever we are hearing Ram Katha, we do not undermine the greatness of Lord Ram, just thinking, oh, he's a human. In fact, oh, where is that book? Hmm, one second. Rupa, maybe you can get the book once.
Yeah, yeah, I'm going.
No, in fact, in the ninth canto, 10th chapter, there is the greatness of Lord Rama and Lord Sita are mentioned. And why is Lord Ram so special? कड़े Mhm. In fact, here there is this greatness of Lord Ram is mentioned. Hmm? It, of course, there are so many shlokas, so many. And I'm just telling one. Why? Because we are talking about Charita. Charita is, it's not just a chronology of what has happened. Yeah, there are so many kings who have done so many things. There are so many leaders who are famous. There are so many politicians who could be become Mahatmas, maybe greater than normal people. No, we are not talking about them. We are not talking about them, but we are talking about Lord Ramachandra's whose ideal qualities are, Sukadev Goswami saying, Eka Patni Vrata Dharmo Rajarshi Charita Shutihi Swadharmam Graha Medhiyam Sikshayan Swayam Acharat. Swayam Acharat means he himself is following to show us. It is said that he vowed to accept only one wife. He was a saintly king with pure character. By his personal conduct and activities, he taught good behavior to householders. When Lord is coming to our level to show us so that we can follow him, we take it for granted, or we take it like, maybe he is not great. That is our position. Huh? That's why we should understand why. Yeah, we know that Lord Ram is a Kshatriya. Huh? He's a king. Okay, maybe by that time he's not a king, but he eventually became a king. What is so big problem if Sita is abducted, or Uh, Being a king, there are so many who can come, whom he can marry. No, here it says, Eko Patni Vrata Dharo. When Sita was kidnapped by Ravana, Rama could have married thousands of Sitas, but to instruct men to have only one wife and to be faithful to her, Rama fought with Ravana and rescued Sita. Huh? We may think, hey, is it not a maybe again with our mm, immature thoughts, we may think, hey, does this mean that Rama has went and killed Ravana for his own personal reasons to rescue Sita, to prove the world that one should have only one wife? Is there no part of Ravana's abusing? We'll come to that later. Yeah. So when it's nine, please let me know. I mean, otherwise, I'll just continue. So, is everyone ready that we would like to hear the Rama Charita Amrita, yeah, for next days? If yes, hmm, be ready. Yeah, we are going to go to that time where there is this Valmiki. Valmiki asked, uh, Valmiki asked Narada Muni. Why? Because Narada Muni became his guru. Before Valmiki became a sage, a Muni, he was a hunter. And because he took to the instructions of Narada Muni, Valmiki, he became purified, so purified that he became even a recipient of such a great work that was, mm, yeah, assigned, yeah, or to him. And what did Valmiki do? Yeah, he asked. If we open from Valmiki Ramayana, we see. By the way, I might refer multiple books or sources, but definitely which are authorized, not that which interpret some Mayavad understanding or something. So I'm going to take to that point where, yeah, there was this um, Valmiki Muni. He asked his teacher Narada Muni. He asked, "Can you please tell me who is a great hero?" Uh, we may also want to know who is a great hero for good reasons, but what Valmiki is asking is not just an ordinary question. To even remove any ambiguities from his question, is it for his own interest? No, Valmiki asked, is there a person in this world who is full of good virtues? Okay. And is at the same time powerful, grateful, truthful, determined, and also compassionate. Oh, how is it possible such a combination of a person can exist, right? One who is very, very virtuous, he might be not compassionate. Why? Because after having so great virtues, he may think, oh, there is no one else, so he may have some pride. No, he should be also grateful. Means he should understand all these great virtues are there. It's because of the mercy of gurus, parents, and others. And when someone has so many virtues, means it's like having power. But having in spite of so much power, is it truthful? Because a person who may not live a principled life may, even if he has virtues, it's of no use. He may just go to he may slip from the truthfulness. Is he determined? So is there any person who displays exemplary conduct, hmm, and works for good of all, who is wise, who is competent, who is beyond doubt and good looking? Is there any person who is self-satisfied, who has control over his anger, whose beauty casts a spell over everyone, who is free from envy, who courage never fails him? So this is a question to know. And Narada Muni, when he heard this question, he took a pause. And it's not because he doesn't know if there is a person, or it's not that he had a list of persons whom he has to really go back and check and come back. No, he knows. He was. Um, he knows that definitely there is one who possessed all these 24 virtues, all these 24 qualities. And Narad Muni, as soon as he thought that the qualities you have acquired about are rare, and not easily found in a single person, but there is one. And then that was the opening of when Narad Muni starts telling um, his thoughts, and then everything he started slowly telling, wow, it's so nice to get a question like this, because this gives an opportunity to speak about that great personality who is a reservoir of all such virtues, such great qualities. And then he told everything, yeah, in very briefly the whole Ramayana. Yeah, if you see in the Valmiki Ramayana, the first chapter is all about the whole Ramayana in a nutshell. It can it can be said in so simple, in so nutshell way, and the in this, just not to just tell about, oh, Ram is that, Ram is this. In this process, Narad Muni has narrated the whole Ramayana. And after narrating the Ramayana to Valmiki, Narada simply left. And after that, there is another very, very interesting event happens in Valmiki Muni's life, where all of a sudden he goes and he curses. Yeah. And when he is cursing someone due to some, because he sees there is a hunter who is shooting an arrow against a bird, and that was a sonic arrow, yeah, without knowing that he is going to hurt the bird. Yeah. So he did it. And because uh, seeing such a thing that has happened, Valmiki became very, very painful, and uh, he said, "Oh, unfortunate hunter, because you have killed this male bird and separated it from its companion female bird. That's why when there will, it says, when they're approaching the peak of your passion, then you will be condemned for all ages to come. Let all inauspiciousness befall you." And this is what Valmiki uttered. He regretted after that. Oh, why? Because a sage is always compassionate, but how can such a words come out of his mouth? He went home. He was thinking what has happened to him. When he was thinking what could be the reason, then Brahmaji came, and when Valmiki Muni was not able to understand why did he utter that words of curses against that king, then then what happened? Brahma was standing, imposing in all glories at the gate of Valmiki's ashram, and Valmiki was wondering to what, um, why did he come? Uh, Usually, Brahma has appeared for uh, if someone does tapasya, right? So when someone is taking to meditation, tapasya, and austerities, and always remembering and want him to please him for his mercy, then Brahma appears. But here Brahma himself came, yeah, and Brahma had appeared in his own accord. And Valmiki knew that great universal controller such Brahma do not appear on planet Earth without a reason. There should be definitely a good reason. Whatever is the reason, Valmiki just welcomed Brahma, and then he gave his respect and obeisances. And all after all formalities, Brahma asked Valmiki to take rest, and then Valmiki, began to recite the shloka curse he has compiled. The compilation was so perfect, with perfect meter, perfect words. And Brahma, he said, those details about Lord Ram's life that you don't yet know shall be revealed to you. By whom? By me. Lord Brahma is saying, whatever you are said, that is actually one verse of actually the entire Ramayana that has happened. And um, I am going to fill whatever you lack. Whatever words you compose will be perfect and will truly glorify the stories of Lord Ram. And Brahma said, for as long as mountains, rivers flourish on earth, the legend of Ram will flourish in this world. And for as long as Ramayana flourishes, the world will know and celebrate you along with Ramayana. It's an amazing boon, amazing um, blessing of Brahmaji to Valmiki Muni. Why? Because he has compiled and he is even today known. Yeah, if we think about Ramayana, the first Ramayana that we uh, to refer is definitely Valmiki Ramayana. With this, Brahma left, and as soon as Brahma left, Valmiki began preparing to write Ramayana. Before he began, he wondered, why me? Why was I chosen? What is that special reason? Anyway, um, because who is his guru? It was Narada Muni. Just then um, um, Narad Muni being his guru was not just only reason. Why? Because in the ashram of Valmiki Muni, when he just after he was thinking who, then he saw that there was Sita Mata in his ashram. Why? Because we know what happened is that Ramayan after um, Lord mm, returns to Ayodhya, and then when he incognito as a common man goes into the village to hear how people are appreciating or commenting his rule so that he can always improve his um, the happiness of his citizens. At that time, there is a washer, is it washerman, who very casually talks and says uh, ill about Ram, and at the same time also about the character of Sita. So we know this. Yeah, we will anyway come to that part later. So, because of that, though she was pregnant, Mother Sita was dropped in the custody, where near Valmiki ashram. So he was thinking, oh, this could be the reason, and um, so anyway, so in that way, this Rama and is not just like one is taking a what do you call this? Ideas from one is not copying all the novels there, what is so exciting, putting it in his own novel. No, Valmiki has compiled Ramayana as it is, and this Ramayana is what, yeah, as I was thinking of structuring our Sri Ramacharitamrita into three parts. The first part is Adi Leela, the first part, yeah. Then there is Madhya Leela and then is Antya Leela. As part of the first, yeah, we are going to talk about Bala Kanda. We are going to talk about also Ayodhya Kanda. Yeah. Anyway, we will see how it goes, and then there is a time we will discuss about the remaining subjects, and then get into the Antya Leela, with Yuddha Kanda as well as these last parts, and then how Lord has returned back to Vaikuntha. So that is the idea. So yeah, so all this in all, we now begin that what Valmiki is has written. Valmiki has written everything, and then whatever he has written, he has trained two boys who were their Lava and Kusha, who are none other than the twin sons, who are sons of Lord Ram and Sita. Yeah, and he has whatever this whole kavya that is written by Valmiki was taken up by this two sweet boys. They have very nicely learnt, and they have, out of compassion and love towards this cow, they um, were attracting wherever they were going, and they were wherever they were singing this Ramakatha. So Love and Kush began the description of the kingdom of Koshala, and then he starts explaining, which was by Sarayu River. Sarayu River, and there is a Koshala, which is capital of that is Ayodhya. At the center of this Koshala, there is Ayodhya. Ayodhya means the city which was like 12 yojanas long and 3 yojanas broad, and which is free from yuddha, which is free from wars. Dasharath is the king and was crowning. Then Ayodhya means unconquerable. Yeah, there is no yuddha. And then uh, of its greatness is glorified. Lava and Kush starts saying, what is that? What is this Ayodhya is great about? Yeah, the physical elements of it. Then what is Ayodhya is glorified is not only for the shops and people who but it's also glorious, out of what it has offered. No one had a wrong motive or felt the need to rob. Dasharatha's ocean of charities engulfed Ayodhya poverty, so no beggars walked on the street. So all this greatness was uh, um, so much surcharged in Ayodhya. Hmm? So the physical strength of Ayodhya came not just from the brute force, but from the years of discipline. By the way, I'm just helping myself reading from Shubhavilas Prabhu's books, so that I can still stick to the storyline. Mm. So, and then uh, all this is so amazing, right? So, and Dasharatha tried to offer great. He is not ordinary. He is himself a great king, and even the demigods used to call him to fight against the demons when they were in trouble. So, in that way, and not only that, Ayodhya is blessed with great ministers. They are great ministers who have amazing mm, strength in their thinking. Who are there? Uh, um, Drishti Jayanta Vijaya, Surashtra, Rashtra Vardhana, Akopa, Dharmapala, and Sumantra. Of course, we hear Sumantra often, and Sumantra, in fact, is the most closest friend as well as the minister of Dasharatha. These eight ministers were men of pure mind and great integrity. It's not like, okay, they were competing with each other so that I am great, I am great. They had a great integrity, which means they speak truth. At the same time, they are humble. At the same time, they are cooperative and looking to find a solution and make sure that Ayodhya is free from trouble. So then after that, so then while this was happening, Dasharatha was um, king of such amazing kingdom, right? Of such an Koshala kingdom where Ayodhya, he had nice people, he has nice citizens, he has nice facilities, he has everything so nice, nice, nice. Everything is nice, which means he should be a very happy king, in fact. Though he had everything, but there is one which still caused him great pain, and this was like, in spite of having everything, he didn't had his life. What does that mean? It means that Dashrath had everything indeed, yet he was dissatisfied. This is not just a human tendency, but even a king like Dasharatha. Why is it so? Because he had three wives. No, in fact, he had 353 wives. In fact, he has 353 wives, 350 princesses, and three principal wives, Kaushalya, Kaikeyi, and Sumitra. Yeah, Sumitra, Kaikeyi. I mean, yeah, Kaushalya, Sumitra, Kaikeyi, three principal wives. And in spite of having so many, but what happened was still he didn't had. He was childless. He didn't had a son. Of course, he had a daughter, Shanta, who he has given. Yeah, anyway, that will come later if. Hmm. But here we see that Dasharath, though he had everything, he also had counselors. He has this wonderful eight ministers. Then called them for a conference to find a way how he can have a child, a son, so that his grief can be relieved. He can be relieved from that grief. So he thought an Ashwamedha Yajna would please the Lord enough to award him son. That was a nice idea, but the ministers, they said, the great sages led by Vasishta, they said, Dasharatha, your idea is great. I agree to it, but to do Ashwamedha Yajna, Ashwa means, we may think that Ashwa means horse. Ashwa also means time. Ashwa means um, Ashwamedha Yajna. So means one who is completely pure can perform that yajna. One who is completely free from sins can perform Ashwamedha Yajna. Uh, so the great sages, they said, Dasharatha and agreed to assist him in fulfilling his desire. The sages also warned him of, you know what, your idea is nice, but the consequences of any error made when conducting this sacrifice, they, no, then what will happen? They agree to protect the sacrifice against such lapses. So the king is telling the sages to please make sure that there is no issue Everything should be perfect, otherwise it's very dangerous. And after everyone left, Sumantra approached Dasharatha and told him uh, that he narrated a long time ago what was happened. He said that he had heard from a great sage Sanat Kumar predicting that Dasharath would perform this very yajna. Sanat Kumar has spoken about a unique and powerful sage named Rishi Shringa. It's not that anyone can do it. Rishi Shringa, who is the son of Romapada, um, 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 as being the chief director of the sacrifice. So the wise Sanat Kumar has predicted that under the guidance of Rishi Shringa, the sacrifice would be a success and Dasharad would father illustrious sons. So after hearing this, Sumantra, there is also a big story. It was not so easy. Um, what did I say? King Romapada is no king. No, Dasharatha gives his daughter Shanta to King Romapada, and in King Romapada's kingdom is Rishishringa. So now, because you have a good relationship with the king Romapad, so if you ask, then Rishishringa will come. So that was a deal. So Romapada, the great king of Anga, was very dear friend of King Dashrath, so much so that Dashrath has given up his own daughter Shanta. Hmm. Great sages advised that if Rishishringa stepped into kingdom, there would be bountiful rains immediately. Anyway, this is glorification, greatness of Rishishringa who is going to perform this. But how to bring him here? There was some arrangement that was done because Rishishringa had no tinge of any attraction to the opposite sex. So he was so much. He didn't even see a girl in his own life, entire life. To bring him, he need friends, also male friends, but male friends may not attract him to come. So there was an arrangement that all the beautiful damsels they went into this dress themselves like beautiful brahmacharis, and then that captivated Rishi Shringa, and then anyway, finally he was put into a moving boat, and while he was associating with so-called brahmachari who are not brahmacharis, finally they landed on the area, and when as soon as he stepped out of the boat, then the famine or the drought was gone and the rains fell or in abundantly. Anyway, so this is in short the greatness of this Rishi Shringa. Of course, Rishi Shringa initially got disappointed or even became angry. How could he be cheated? But he understood that for a higher purpose he was involved. He was, uh, and that's why he just agreed. Mm. So in this way, so Rishi Shringa was brought, and Rishi Shringa suggested that Dasharatha perform the Putra Kameshti Yagya, uh, a sacrifice to the Lord to fulfill one's desire for sons. Successfully perform of Putra Kameshti requires the king to be sin free. To ensure purity, Rishishtunga suggested that Ashwamedha Yagya be performed. Ashwa means Kala, Medha means purified. Means the performer of this yagya gets purified of all sins ever committed in any past life. That is the reason we hear so many times people perform Ashwamedha Yajna so that they can be free from sins and eligible to enter the spiritual world. But but the problem is it's not at all easy. It's not at all easy. This ritual involves, of course, arranging a horse that will be released and it will travel all around. And if any king opposes, then the army which is following the horse will attack and win and come. But it's not just this, it is also that all the yajna paraphernalia, whatever will be used, everything should be perfect. So Vasishta painstakingly monitored every aspect of the arrangement for the sacrifice. He ensured that there were no lapses and that all those involved in preparation did their best. So in that way, everyone were completely focused, and then because this Ashwamedha Yajna can be a double-edged sword, hmm, which means it can, while it can deliver great results, it can also ruin, because if one commits mistake, then such performer uh, will be affected also. Why? Because it is believed that Brahma Rakshasas attack and destroy the performers as soon as a single error was committed. So, to avoid such mistakes, Vashishta Muni was taking care. Ashwamedha Yajna was successfully completed. After Ashwamedha Yajna was successfully completed, then now Dashratha was instructed by Rishi Shringa to perform Putra Kameshti Yajna. Huh? As soon as, anyway, so so Dashratha gave, yeah, anyway, so Putra Kameshti Yagya was performed, and Putra Kameshti Yagya is performed so that whatever Dashratha was desiring to have a child, a virtuous son, can be done. While this was going on, while this was happening, is that the only reason? Is it that, okay, there is one great king or a great devotee or a Kshatriya, so that he can continue his progeny? Is that the reason why Lord Ram has appeared? No, there is also other reason why. Because while this was happening, the devatas, the devatas descended from the heavens to receive their shares of offering. The sacrifice was so pure that they felt drawn towards it, whatever the sacrifice Dasharatha was doing. But at the same time, they were concerned about one person, who is that? Ravana. We can see that Ravan, while we are talking about Ram, we can, we, without Ravana, Ramayana is incomplete. Why? Because one of the reasons why Ram appeared is to annihilate Ravana. Why? Why to annihilate Ravan? Why Lord should be so cruel? Hmm? Why? Because we understand who is Ravana first. The literal meaning of Ravana, or is a personified who wants others to cry. When others are crying, he is experiencing great happiness. That kind of mentality is Ravana. In fact, who is this Ravan? Who is this? Ravan was the eldest of the three sons and one daughter of Kaikasi. Who is Kaikasi? She is the daughter of Sumali, a demon, a Rakshasa. Rakshasa Sumali, he had a plan that if my daughter Kaikasi is given in hand or somehow marries or to Vishravas, who is the son of Pulasya, who is a Brahmana, then the what do you call this, progeny, the will be very powerful, because they would be Rakshasas but with power of great Brahmanas. So, which means Rakshasas can become very powerful. This is all strategies, right? How to become powerful. So, this would ensure permanent rule of Rakshasas over the Devatas. And then the pious Kaikeyi did not share this same thoughts, but anyway, because the father wanted her to marry, to get married, so finally this happens. After the wedding, when Vishravas realized his wife's real intentions, he cursed that she would give birth to blood-thirsty Rakshasas. Uh, so, I mean, it's an interesting thing. Why? Because Vishravas, he didn't know that Kaikasi was not having such bad thought. It was only her father. But anyway, had married Vishravas to appease her father. That was the fault. Uh, because she wanted to just fulfill her father's desire, which is not right desire. So that's why he cursed. And to pacify her, because Vishravas bestowed her. Yeah, it's also that, but it's also this. Yeah, in Ashwa means time, Ashwa means also horse. So that's why usually people think, because a horse is involved, that's why they think horse sacrifice, and people may think horse will be killed. That's not the main thing. I don't know. Sorrow. Hmm? So Kaikasi gave birth to um, 10-headed, 10-headed Dasanana, Dasagriva. Yeah. From his very birth, This monster was anger personified. He was very angry to see if someone is happy. And as soon as if others are crying, then he becomes happy. Ravana lived up to his name. What is his name? The name Ravana means one who makes others cry. That's what he enjoyed. He derived great pleasure from making others cry. And next, Kaikasi gave birth to Kumbhakarna. Kumbhakarna, he grew very gigantic in no time. Uh, he was devouring everything and everyone who crossed his path. His name was Kumbhakarna. Kumbhakarna means Kumbha means pot, Karna means ears. Uh, Means one whose ears were as gigantic as pots, big. If the ears are so big, how much can he hear? It's not that the size of the ear is determining how much can go in. It's all about after going in, how much can stay in. Uh, but anyway, after the birth of Kumbhakarna, then Kaikasi gave birth to hmm, Vibhishana. So this Vibhishan finally, and um, he was very very saintly, which was not expected, not wanted, but because of course Vishrabas was a brahmana. And we can also see here at least one had this quality of a devotee. uh, why? Because she was asking, oh, it's not my fault, please take back your curse. At least it was reduced, where at least Vibhishan was born. And after that there was Surpanaka. uh, Surpanaka, who has vicious temper, was born. She was neither beautiful but always who thinks everything can go around her. Everything that she may become the center of attraction. May she be all the pleasure, or may she be the recipient of all the pleasure. Yeah, that is what. So Vishravas, of course, he also had another wife and begot Kubera. In that way, Ravana and Kubera are cousin brothers. And there was always competition between them. And of course, in that, um, yeah. Anyway, whatever Kubera has built his wonderful Lanka for his residence, Ravana has occupied. Why? Because of Ravana, though he is just not only strong, but his wife, sorry, his mother, Kaikasi also, she felt competition or envious, and she started making her sons filled with poison of envy, so that they also were not satisfied with what they have, but they also wanted to occupy. And that's how there is a whole thing happens, due to which he finally takes control or takes hold of Lanka. He kicks his own brother, I mean not own but cousin brother, out. And then because they want to become very very powerful, so that no one can compete, so Kaikasi also encourages Ravana and his brothers and even his daughter, yeah, his sons and all the sons and daughter, to go and perform tapasya to Brahma to please him, so that they can become all powerful. With that all power, that she can be very very successful. So Vishravas, though Vishravas has trained his son Ravana to become a expert in Vedic to scriptures, yeah, to become a scholar in that. Ravana was theoretically very very scholar and had divine knowledge, but he had no divine feelings. Why? Because of the influence of his mother. So anyway, the three brothers and sister, they did a tremendous austerities. Why? Because they had the skills, they had the control of senses, so that for a good cause, or for their own desire, they are ready to sacrifice their own comforts. They did a tremendous austerity, neither eating nor sleeping for many many years to please Brahma. When the deities they um, wanted to appease did not appear, then Ravana started chopping his head one after the other. And when the last head was there, which he was ready to cut and offer, then Brahma came. And when Brahma came, what happened? They asked, Ravana asked, "Hmm, I want to become immortal." And Brahma says that, oh, yeah, even I am not immortal, which means how can I give that? So, and anyway, then Ravana, then he tried. some tricks indirectly to ensure immortality. He asked Brahma to grant, what do you call, grant him that none of the demigods, sages, Gandharvas, Kinnaras, Rakshasas, Nagas should be able to kill him. And Brahma granted him the wish. Of course, what happened is uh, no one wants death, but yeah, it's a fact that one who is born on the Mrityu Loka is supposed to die, and Ravana was not an exception. Though he may think so many ways, every he thought he's used his whole intelligence so that he can become immortal, but he forgot protection against monkeys and humans. Of course, he was thinking that they are not so big, they are not so dangerous. So anyway, Brahma granted Ravana his wish through, and then um, who is that? Kumbhakarna. Kumbhakarna also, yeah, he was asking Brahma to bless. And Brahma further explained that the moment he instructed the moment Ravana, when he asked such a boon, Brahma asked Saraswati to sit on the tongue of Kumbhakarna, because when Kumbhakarna is going to ask something, at least this time he will be manipulated with his desire. So Kumbhakarna wanted to ask Nityatvam, but then because Saraswati manipulated, he asked Nidratvam. Nityatvam means eternity, just like Ravana wanted, but he got Nidratvam. And yeah, and this is because of Saraswati Devi and unlimited sleep, Nidratvam. Instead of asking Indrasan, he asked Nidrasan. So anyway, in this way, what he wanted was not given. One may think, hey, how is this? How can Lord cheat? When the demons, yeah, they are going to cause great disturbances to the dharma. Yeah, here Brahma is protecting from such things. And then Kumbhakarna begged Brahma to reverse this boon. Please take it. Brahma relented and make a slight change that he could sleep for 6 months and be awake for the rest. So anyway, after that, then Surpanaka, she she asked boon. What is the boon she wanted was she desired. I mean, all this is narrated by Brahma to the devatas who came for relief from Ravana. At that time, Brahma is telling, you know what? Uh, I know that who is Ravan, I know who is Kumbhakarna, I know who is Vibhishan, and all in all. And then he said, hmm, this Surpanaka, she came to me. She desired that she be able to change her form at will, and Brahma granted that. So then comes the shocking boon that was asked by Vibhishan. He said, I want to just be a servant of the Supreme Creator. I want to just. He asked for devotion to the Supreme Lord, and that he should never deviate from the principles of truth at any point of his life. Of course, while Brahma appreciated this, Vibhishan's brothers and sister, they thought, "What kind of boon are you asking? You foolishly asked that." And yeah, so in that way, it was these boons are given by Brahma. So once Brahma shared these details to the demigods, the devatas, and then after knowing this, they were pacified. Why? Because. hmm, uh, uh, yeah, Brahma has given this, and definitely there is some plan that can be sorted out. It's not that Ravana is in in invincible. It's not Ravana is invincible. It is also there is a yeah, none of them are immortal. Yeah, so now that's why the hope now for them is that all they go and pray to Lord Vishnu. Oh Lord Vishnu, please protect. And of course, there is even Brahma's soothing words try to calm the demigods. While this was happening, Lord Vishnu himself, out of compassion, out of mercy on the Devatas, he appeared. And then he said, okay, he heard to the Devatas, Lord Vishnu uh, Interestingly, when Lord Vishnu appeared in front of the demigods, anyway, this is further detail. Lord Vishnu announced to the demigods that he would soon descend to earth and incarnate as sons of Dasharatha. He also instructed Brahma to ensure that all the devatas be sent to earth as monkeys to assist him in this pastime. And Lord Vishnu after that disappeared. So Brahma immediately took into action, and then what happened? He delegated different roles to different demigods to appear on earth. He instructed Surya to transform into Sugriva. He Indra into Vali, Kubera into Nila, Brihaspati into Taru, Varuna into Sushena, Vayu into Hanuman, and so on. So Brahma himself decided to become a bear. What is that name? Jambavan, hmm, who eventually was a source of inspiration and wisdom of all. After all this happened, uh, everyone went into the place, yeah, where we see Kishkinda, yeah, so that forest, yeah. While this was happening on the earth, what was happening was Dashratha has finished his Putrakamishti Yagya, and because of he has performed the Putrakamishti Yagya, a huge personality came out of this fire sacrifice with a big, what do you call this? Kumbha, pot, pot of sweet rice. And then this sweet rice is not just ordinary sweet rice, this is the blessing through which mm, Kausalya, Sumitra, and Kaikeyi begot four wonderful uh, sons. This is what we will discuss tomorrow. Thank you very much. We could go more, but I thought let's stop here. Maybe if someone also want to add something. Was it uh, yeah, easy to follow or?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, thank you for the nice narration, Prabhuji. Again, starting from the overall scheme of things, you kind of pointed out that Madhvacharya's Moola Rama. I remember, Raghavendra Swami kind of worshipped Moola Rama. He took him wherever he went, and we also had his darshan when we were at Mantralayam. So agree that Rama is a name that's known all over the country, and also thank you for introducing us in a very blissful way. Looking forward for the next 8 days, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yep. Thank you. Yep. Thank you. Any other thoughts? Yeah, I'm more interested to know if this pace is okay. I'm just going little, I mean, I don't know if it's fast. For me, it's still fast because I'm very, very slow. If this is okay to be followed, because you already know the story, even you may know also all these details, but if there are too many gaps, yeah, you can reach me later. Or if it is something that everyone needs to know, maybe it's too special, then we can also discuss here. Hmm. Shruti Mataji, Kritika Mataji. Yeah, I'm just seeing who others joined.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes.
I think the pace was nice for me. It's not too fast. It's easy to follow. As you said, like we already know this background story, so I think that's why also it was easy to follow.
Hmm.
Mm.
Okay. Good.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Parth Prabhu.
Prabhuji, I was I was not following in the beginning time properly. Can you please repeat that part where I think Dasharatha was cursed by when he shot down this Sonic arrow and
Yeah, we will come to that later. We have not touched
okay,
that.
okay.
Actually, what happened that Dasharatha was cursed is what actually Valmiki has cursed that birds, yeah, so that hunter. So that that correlation brought Brahmaji to come and say the verse that slipped from your mouth was not an accident, but that is part of Ramayana.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. 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 Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hmm. Okay.
Yes, Prabhuji. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Because in the case of Dashratha, it was that when he shot the sonic arrow, it was not the birds that were attacked. It was that there was this uh,
Yeah, it was the son of those, I think, sages
no,
who were like the son was only
yeah,
hope
the
for
only
those
son.
sages.
Yeah, the only son. We
Yeah.
will we will come to that, yeah, later.
Okay. Okay.
That
Okay.
that comes part of the time Ayodhya Kanda where when Dashratha is on his deathbed, at that time he is remembering why he is suffering and why this happened.
Okay. 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 Thank you, Prabhuji. I was hearing that Sonic Arrow you mentioned, then I thought I could not follow that, so that's why I asked. Thank
Yeah.
you for clearing, Prabhuji.
Someone is asking, Prabhu, what is a Brahmana descent sage named Vishwas? What I didn't get the question. Maybe someone read it. Um, what is that? Is a Brahman descendant sage? Are you asking how? Yeah, because that's how. If I understood your question, Saurabh Prabhu, it's like how come that Vishwas has married Kaikasi, right? Because he didn't know that, yeah, she was daughter of Rakshasa, and that's why.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yeah, God Bhagwan
Thank
Prabhu.
you Prabhuji for wonderful start of Ramayana. Yes Prabhuji, I was wondering this yagya, this Ashwamedh yagna did not eradicate the past karmas of Dashratha so that he has to suffer in the future.
So is your question that if he has done Ashwamedha Yajna successfully and then he's now begetting son, is that not enough so that he has to suffer in his later stage? Is that your question?
Yes Prabhuji, that
Yeah.
Shravan Kumar that
Good
he
question.
mistakenly
Good
killed.
question, but I have to check when was it exactly happened. Is it after this or after? Yeah, I have to check that. It's also possible, right? After the Ashwamedha Yajna.
And Prabhuji, Ashwamedh Yagya, they don't sacrifice horse, but the horse comes back to life again, or
I heard in Madhva Sampradaya they see, I mean, I know a person who has compiled huge proofs which says that even in Ashwamedha Yajna, when we see there is Ashwa, it's not that a horse is really sacrificed. There is no actual, it says that wherever such references are there, one is not able to take the true meaning rather than taking the direct meaning or whatever. No? That's why there is a practice of killing horses, but the real Ashwamedha Yajna doesn't involve killing a horse. This is what, yeah, I heard. I didn't refer to his book, but I mean I have it somewhere. Maybe I'll have to read that further. But he was saying in all the scriptures wherever it's mentioned about animal killing, it's not actually animal killing. It's actually there is a different meaning to it, or hidden meaning, or the real meaning that is hidden or not taken straight.
and Prabhuji, this kind of Ashwamedh Yagya does not create like enmity between. uh,
Yeah, we can see that. Hey, if I want to see, I want to hmm, do Ashwamedha Yajna. It is not to show that I am the greatest. Huh? The horse is sent so that everyone is blessing. I mean, no one is stopping the horse. It means that a person is uh, confirming, or a person is showing his alliance. What do you call this? That he is his ally or friend. Yeah. One who is not, he's already enemy, right?
So enemy will
Yeah.
oppose and
Yeah. Enemy, whoever is opposing, then as part of this, yeah, he is, because one may think, hey, how is this possible? Is it for one's own selfish, sinless, easy perform? No, there is also other benefits that are, it's in fact everything is still offered for the welfare of the citizens, for the well-being.
okay. So it is not like they take all the riches from the other states and bring for yagya or.
No, no, that is also there, but again, it's not force. Yeah, that is also there. It's not force. As I said, if a friend is there, if you are doing something, I'm happy to give you, right, whatever I have, because to perform such a big yagyas, you need a lot of dravya.
Mm,
Yeah,
yes, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
yeah. Thank you. Okay, so sleep well. Tomorrow is, yeah, daylight saving, so which means we will have 1 hour less. But I'm happy. We meet tomorrow also at 8 o'clock, right? So we go further, and yeah, see you tomorrow. Hare Krishna. पंचाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। श्री रामचंद्र भगवान की जय। हरे कृष्ण।
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you.
Thank
Hare
you,
Krishna,
Prabhu.
Prabhuji.
हरे
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you.
हरे कृष्ण।
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
हरे
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you.
हरे कृष्ण। हरि बोल।